The Bridge, painted by Stanley Spencer in 1920. Stanley Spencer was an unconventional man. His life, his faith, and his art were uniquely his. Any attempt to slot him into a style of life, a type of faith, or a movement in art is sure to fail. There simply isn't a Stanley Spencer-shaped box. I'm not saying he wasn't influenced by people, events, and the world around him. He certainly was. But he interpreted those experiences in his own context, coloured always by his deeply rooted Cookham feelings, evoked by boyhood memories of home in an English riverside village. What did Spencer make of changing fashions, especially the way people dressed in the early 20th century? Did he have any concept of fashion? Perhaps he just painted what he saw and remembered. Spencer himself was anything but fashionable. Like most working men at the time, he almost always wore a suit with white shirt and tie. He shunned the artist's smock or overalls, preferring his paint-spattered suits. Photographs of him show small nods to style. Wider or narrower lapels, turn-ups or not. In The Bridge, people, mostly men, crowd onto Cookham Bridge, jostling figures packed together against the imagined stone parapets. As is sometimes the case with Spencer's work, we know he's telling us a story, but we can't be sure what he's saying. People on the right lean forward, looking into the river below, whilst those on the left mainly turn towards us, away from the river. Perhaps it's regatta time, and they've just seen rowers race past. Men in almost identical plain three-piece suits fan out across the bridge. There's a hint of the influence of Spencer's Slade contemporaries in this composition. Spencer knew the work of Nevinson and Wadsworth, both champions of the vorticist movement. He used the fan composition to great effect in other paintings. Look at the pattern of punts in view from Cookham Bridge. Spencer doesn't show us much about the suits. Perhaps it doesn't interest him. Waistcoat buttons are fastened, but single-breasted jackets are undone. Trousers are cut wide and long. Shades of grey and beige reveal the folds of the fabric. In contrast, Spencer picks out the detail of Tinker the dog. He sprawls in the foreground. We sense the dense woolliness of his coat and the softness of his ears. Tinker's owner, Guy Lacey, taught the Spencer brothers to swim. His younger brother leans on a pew in Roy, drawn by Spencer in 1907. This is Spencer's sensitive sketch of a young boy curious about the goings-on in the adult world of a church. In his later paintings, Spencer shows meticulous attention to the fabrics and patterns of the garments people wear. But fashion as such seems unimportant. Rather, detailed depiction of clothing helps him weave his stories for us. The warp and weft of the rough tweed suits in Cookham, painted in 1940 as part of the Shipbuilding on the Clyde series, helps us feel the hard physical life of the Glasgow workers. Spencer was dissatisfied with the bridge. In a note written about the painting in 1937, he said he had failed altogether. Fortunately, he was dissuaded from destroying the picture, although he neither sold it nor exhibited it for more than 20 years. It was eventually shown in 1942 at the Leicester Galleries and bought by the National Art Collections Fund.